All right, let's just jump right into this explainer and uncover the fascinating, totally hidden layers of the financial world. We usually think of money as just the physical bills in our wallet, or more likely nowadays, the digits on a screen. But there is a massive, invisible architecture operating all around us. We're going to start right inside your pocket with everyday consumer credit. And then we're going to zoom way out, journeying all the way up to an invisible $21 trillion software brain that effectively anchors the entire global economy. To truly wrap our heads around how money moves, we're going to peel the onion layer by layer. We'll quickly hit 1. Leveling up your wallet. 2. The global underground bank. 3. Trading the world's currencies. 4. Guarding the public purse. And finally, 5. The invisible apex predator. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Leveling up your wallet and decoding the hidden hierarchy of credit cards. Let's start with something super relatable, right? Your credit card. Most people are just casually sitting at level 1 or 2 with absolutely no idea that a hidden 7-tier hierarchy even exists. It's basically a ladder. You start at step 1 with credit builders. Sure, they have crazy high interest rates, but they aren't for perks. They're purely a tool to prove you can be trusted to borrow money. Then you grind your way up to standard and cashback cards. By step 4 and 5, yeah, you're paying steep annual fees, but you're getting tangible perks like airport lounges and those heavy metal cards. But then you hit step 6. This is where the whole game changes. Step 6 isn't about filling out an online application. It's about having an exclusive private banking relationship because you hold millions in assets. The card just sort of follows the wealth. Think about the absolute contrast here. A level 1 card is just a basic, highly accessible financial tool. But at the very top, level 7, the elusive black card, you can't even apply for it. It's invitation only. It's forged from titanium, has no preset spending limit, and literally comes with a dedicated lifestyle manager to book your private suites. It proves that at the absolute peak, credit cards aren't actually about credit at all. They're an artifact of a certain lifestyle. Section 2. The global underground bank and how a 1,400-year-old trust system moves billions. So this brings up a crucial question. What happens when that formal banking system completely fails a population? How do people move money when they don't have access to credit cards or when international wire fees eat up a whole week's wages? The answer is hawala. It's an Arabic word meaning transfer or trust. It's this absolutely ingenious paperless network that's been around for 1,400 years. Imagine a worker in one country giving cash to a local operator. They get a simple code word in return. That operator calls another operator in the recipient's home country. The recipient walks in, says the code word, and gets the cash, same day. No banks, no money physically crossing borders. It's just a running balance of trust between operators. And the sheer scale of this, it's staggering. We are talking about an estimated $500 billion moving through this completely off-the-grid system every single year. $500 billion. And it is driven almost entirely by human reputation. In this network, if an operator cheats, their reputation is permanently destroyed. In hawala, trust literally is the currency. And when you put formal banking side by side with hawala, it totally makes sense why this gap exists. Formal banks take days, they charge exorbitant fees, sometimes up to 8%, and they require endless paperwork. For a migrant worker, an 8% fee is devastating. Hawala, on the other hand, offers same-day delivery for just a 1% to 2% fee with zero paperwork. Now, yes, because it leaves no paper trail, it can absolutely be misused for illicit activities. That's a very real problem, but we have to understand that millions of hardworking, unbanked people rely on it simply because the formal system left them behind. Section 3. Trading the world's currencies inside the forex markets. Okay, so from ancient informal networks, we're stepping right into the highly structured, relentless world of global currency trading. This is where massive macroeconomic pressures dictate the real-time speed and value of money. Now, if you're navigating this space, particularly with contracts for difference or CFD trading, understanding what a pip is absolutely essential. A pip is the smallest measurable price move an exchange rate can make. Traders here aren't getting physical briefcases full of euros or dollars delivered to their door. Instead, they are making lightning-fast decisions based on these tiny, continuous price fluctuations. And because the forex market literally does not sleep, it's running 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It operates in shifting gears across 3 major sessions. The Asian session is usually this calmer period where trends start to form. But then, Europe wakes up. Things get incredibly dynamic as major economic reports drop. Finally, the US session kicks in, becoming highly active and peaking right when American and European trading hours overlap.
It's a constant global reaction to news, oil prices, and central bank policies.
Section 4. Guarding the public purse and the canons of financial propriety. Now that we've seen how private citizens and global traders move their money, let's pivot to a completely different beast: the strict bureaucratic rules governing how our public tax money is spent. So seriously, how do you stop a government bureaucrat from buying a $10,000 chair with taxpayer money? It's a very real question about human nature, right? Without guardrails, things go off the tracks fast. The answer is a rigid, fail-safe system designed to enforce absolute financial discipline. Enter the PDCA framework. It's basically 5 strict pillars acting like an invisible net. Prima facie means a cost shouldn't look obviously extravagant right out of the gate. Vigilance demands that an official spends public money with the exact same caution they'd use with their own hard-earned cash. Advantage ensures no policy is passed just to help out a friend. Community means the funds have to actually benefit the broader public, and allowance strictly dictates that travel reimbursements cannot be turned into a secret side hustle. It's a really fascinating psychological framework built entirely to prevent systemic leaks in government spending. Section 5. The invisible apex predator, BlackRock and the system of everything. Finally, we've reached the ultimate macroeconomic layer. We're leaving government bureaucracy behind to uncover the single private entity that anchors the modern financial system, a firm that wields power not through an army, but through sheer information. Just think about this mind-boggling number for a second: $21 trillion. That represents the assets currently analyzed by BlackRock's Aladdin software. Interestingly, Aladdin was born from a massive $100 million mistake made by BlackRock founder Larry Fink back in the 1980s. He built it to perfectly measure risk so that would never happen again. Today, it acts as an unsleeping digital brain, evaluating risk for roughly 10% of all the world's financial assets. When the biggest pension funds, banks, and even governments need to know if a market is going to crash, they ask Aladdin. This level of dominance didn't happen by accident. It's the result of a brilliant, decades-long strategy of category capture. Back in 1988, they just managed standard fixed income bonds. By 1999, they were renting out that Aladdin risk software. Then in 2009, right in the middle of the global financial crash, they bought BGI and captured the world of exchange-traded funds, pulling in the investment dollars of millions of everyday folks. Fast forward to 2024, and they've expanded way beyond paper assets, acquiring physical infrastructure like airports, direct private credit, and exclusive market data. They evolved from simply managing money to holding the master keys of the economy. And here is exactly how this affects you directly, through a phenomenon called common ownership. Because BlackRock manages so much money, they often end up being the top shareholder in completely competing companies. Take airlines, for example. They own massive shares in Delta, United, and American Airlines, all at the same time. When a single entity holds the major players in one sector, it naturally disincentivizes those companies from getting into fierce price wars. In fact, economic research shows that in the airline industry alone, this shared ownership structure suppresses competition, which ultimately drives up everyday consumer costs by 3 to 7%. Now, to be totally clear, BlackRock doesn't literally own the world. That's just a popular internet myth. But look at their actual structural pillars of influence. Through proxy voting, they cast votes in over 16,000 corporate meetings a year, directly shaping the direction of global business. There's also a well-documented revolving door where top executives fluidly swap positions between BlackRock and key economic roles in the U.S. government. Plus, when massive disasters strike, the 2008 crash, the 2020 pandemic, the economic fallout in Ukraine, governments literally hire BlackRock to act as the ultimate crisis manager. By merging public and private data into a single comprehensive view, they've made themselves an indispensable pillar of the global economy. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to ponder this final thought. If you unplug a city's power grid, the whole city stops. If you unplug the invisible financial systems we've explored today, the ancient trust networks, the massive software brains, the hidden bureaucratic rules, the entire global economy stops. True power isn't necessarily holding the deed to the world. It's being the invisible architecture that the world absolutely cannot function without. I hope this deep dive has completely changed the way you see the money sitting in your pocket. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.